What is going on, comic book familia? Let me get rid of this. And we are back for another segment of our new show, Up on Comics. So I decided I got a new title for this show. So it's me and my cousin Momo Comics 80. How's it going, Rob?
It's going well, man. A lot of things going on in our house right now, but I kind of have a little different area, and I'm hoping because we did switch up our internet that there aren't too many hiccups on my end, and if
Yeah,
there are, that's on me.
yeah. No worries, man. It looks good on my side. So, we're just here to talk about comic book related subjects and movie entertainment and anything that fits our fancy. And how hot is it over there, by the way? Is it still over 100 in Sacramento or?
So we actually had a really good week this last week, but now it's getting back up there, and so today we were in the 90s, which isn't bad. Like
Yeah.
the 90s up here, like I'm okay with that. But we're anticipating that later this week we will hit 100.
Wow.
So yeah, so this week we're still wearing shorts,
Yeah.
and yeah, which again, it's cooling down. I'm not too worried about it. Like the summer, June, July, I mean, oof, bad. So this is still the down slope for us. How about you? How is it over there in beautiful San Diego?
Well, when you came to visit about a week ago, right? The weather broke, so you picked a right time to come when you came. Like before that, it was for us. It was hot, like in the upper 80s or 90s. It was on for at least 2 or 3 weeks. We were getting that weather, but now it's calmed down a little bit. It's been a little bit warmer today, but still like in the high 70s. That's about where I live, where we get. But
Oh, that
it's
sounds
good.
great.
So I'm still wearing my shorts also. So
That sounds great.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we make jokes about like our son who goes to school in San Diego. Like,
Yeah.
it's the sun tax. Like the cost of living in San Diego, you're paying the sun tax. It's a great city to be in.
It's a great, yeah, it is nice here. The weather, man, doesn't get as cold as other parts of California, but it gets a little bit chilly here during the wintertime, but nothing compared to some other parts of the state.
And so you went to a Padres game last night.
Yeah, yeah, last night, yeah.
How was that? I mean, you sent me some pictures, but I mean, was it cold or?
No, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt the whole time, basically. Just when I left, towards the end of the game, I put on my hoodie, and that was it. It was nice weather. It wasn't too hot or too cold. It was perfect for a game. So
Oh yeah, man. I need to get to a game.
yeah.
I don't. We're not talking baseball or anything, right, on the show. But
Maybe a little bit at the end, but not a
okay,
lot.
because like maybe Otani.
Well, that Padres season's over with here.
Yeah.
Yet today was their last game, and knock on wood, if they make the playoffs, and they have a good chance of making the playoffs this year, the Padres, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 games here, to start off the playoffs. So we'll see how
Yeah.
they.
Giants are done. They're not. They're no longer
And
contenders.
that's a bummer, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But what I was gonna mention was Otani. Everyone's talking about the 50-50 that now he's established.
Yeah,
I mean, hate to say it, but must be nice to be a Dodgers fan right now. So
yeah. I don't know, man. People are saying he's the greatest baseball player of all time. I'm just saying, hold on, okay, just hold on.
yeah,
He's still going through his career. To me, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Sandy Koufax, even for the Dodgers, he was such a great, I mean, I just came back from the Baseball Hall of Fame. So, I mean, there's such a history of baseball. People I'm not saying he's not a great player, he is, but the rules, the way they've changed them recently, it helps out the offense more. They made the bases bigger last year. You can only throw a certain amount of times to first base, I believe, and then afterwards, you can't do that anymore. But they are aiming more towards an offensive game. I'm not saying what he did isn't great, but saying that he's the greatest of all time, I say no, calm down.
oh no, it's definitely early in his career, but it's still impressive.
Oh, it's for
Uh,
sure.
did you though read about the fan that caught the ball?
He sold it for like a $3 million or something like that already.
Well, I haven't heard that yet, but the Dodger team wanted the ball and they
Sure.
offered him like $300,000.
Get that. No
And he
way.
said no.
No.
And so so people are anticipating that it's going to go on the secondary market, but there's video footage of him catching it
No.
and and I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have like systems in place now where before they even make the pitch on the ball, the umpires like verify the ball
Okay,
because
yeah,
because there's been instances where someone catches a valuable hit, right?
yeah.
And they're trying to verify whether or not was that the ball. All I'm saying is like I think as collectors, not just baseball fans, but as collectors, this is going to be an interesting thing to watch pan out because he's going to sell it.
Oh, for sure, I would too.
Yeah.
I mean, the $300,000, it's a lot, but it's nothing compared. It's going to be at least $1 million.
Right.
And I could have sworn I read somewhere that he had sold it for $3 million, but I could be wrong. But there's no way I would say no way. 300,000, make it $1 million, and give me season tickets for the rest of my life or something.
Yeah. The season tickets. That's what I was thinking too. They should have threw in some season tickets.
Yeah, and that includes playoffs and World Series, man. They really want that ball. So. But good for him. I mean, the fan who caught it, he caught it fair and square. It's a buyer's market right now for that ball is going to be,
Yeah, it's something to watch. I haven't checked on it today. I've been working all day today, but last night when I was following up on it, I was like, man, it's kind of crazy. Something that maybe we can talk about like in a later show because
once it goes for sale, that's a good topic we can bring up. For we see how much it went for. I'm saying there's going to be first time ever done. I'm saying at least a minimum of $2 million.
Two. Okay, so I was gonna say we should do. Should we do an over under two?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Do you think over or under 2 million?
Over 2 million.
Okay, I'll take the under. Okay. And the only reason being is, well, we'll talk more about it later. But yeah, I'll take that. We'll go under on that, and then between us,
we'll bet like a dinner or something. All right.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Dinner, just you and me. I'm not including your family, but you got two.
Yeah, just us.
All right, man. Let's get on with our show for this week, and these are topics that we chose that we're going to talk about. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Let me see. There are no comments right now, so we're just going to whiz on to this. I keep on sending our link to our family, but I have yet to see any of our family join us, checking out our video live. So we have to get on their case later on, so see what happens. My daughter's working, so she has an excuse. So, but
my daughter's 11, so I don't think that's going to happen.
That's going to happen, not yet. Are you ready for the first subject? San Diego Comic-Con yesterday was the pre-registration. By pre-registration, I mean people who went last year get first dibs, so to speak, to try to get a badge. Not everybody succeeds in getting a badge, but they give people who went last year first up to see if they, can get a badge. And myself, Momo, my cousin, and other people, we have been doing this for over 10 years now. We have a group that we help each other out to get badges, and it's been successful year after year, knock on wood.
Yeah, man. And this year was a little nerve-wracking because for a lot of our windows, it would say over an hour wait. And it wasn't budging. And as a matter of fact, it seemed like more of our windows went up in time.
Yeah, it did. And I noticed, and I heard this from other sites, that anybody could log on. Even if you didn't come, even if you weren't there last year, you can still log on. And I think that's what made some things, like give them some hiccups, because you could log on, but once you put in your information, I'm assuming they would say you can't get a badge because you didn't go last year. Because I heard a lot of people were just using it to get on, and hopefully maybe something would happen and they'd be able to get a badge. But only people who went last year were able to get a badge.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were successful for the most part. Like a couple of people in our party didn't get the days that they wanted.
Yes.
But it's a relief. I mean, because it's Comic-Con for us, right? It's become such a tradition.
Yeah.
I know, like even my two older boys, they're not into comics as much as they were. Like they were reading comics every month, growing up. But now it's like, I think for them, if they didn't go, they'd be like, okay, this isn't right. Like our summer is not right. We need to be at the convention. So they were very happy once I relayed the news that we got the day that we wanted.
Yeah.
Did you hear any horror stories? Because even
yes, yep.
Because So like we're in a couple of groups, and one of the really good groups that in the past has been the badge holders group that we're in.
Yeah.
It was kind of quiet, is what I was gonna bring up. Like on Instagram and Facebook, like usually during Comic-Con ticket sales, there's a lot of like, did you get it? These
Yeah.
posts. I didn't see many posts this year.
I'm on some Facebook groups and I heard some people complain, they say, less than an hour, and then it would jump back to over an hour. Some people with the normal things you always hear, they got in, they put all their registration and it kicked them out, just when they were going to put in their credit card. I've never had that problem, thankfully. And well, yesterday I got on pretty quick, but I didn't want to jinx it, so I didn't say anything. But I had two. I got in. I had about 11 minutes left, and then I was in another one. I opened up two sites, and that one said 11 minutes also. So I was going back and forth, and then when I finished the first one, when I went back to the other one, it was gone.
Oh, really? Wow.
I couldn't even find it. I go, what the heck happened? I must have got booted out, but it took too long. And it just got me out of there. But overall, we got our badges, but there's a little caveat to this because myself and Momo, we've been hosting a Comic-Con panel for the last couple of years. So I only got a badge for one day. So hopefully we'll get another panel, which includes all the days for Comic-Con. That's why we did that, but we'll see.
I will say when I got through, the pages loaded very, very slowly. Like literally it would be like just 3, 4, 5 minutes to load a page.
Yeah.
Or 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 5 minutes is hyperbole, but about 2 to 3 minutes to load a page. It was slow.
I'm grateful that we got badges, but I mean, year after year they have the same problem. I know there's a lot of people trying to get in, and I'm not sure what kind of technology they use to do all this, but I don't know why every year there's always seems to be hiccups.
Well, so going back to one of the comments I made earlier, I did not see a lot of like social media presence, people posting I got in, or hey, do you think some of the hype has died down a bit with Comic-Con?
I think so. Because I won't lie, in years past, I used to feel that adrenaline rush trying to get a badge. And this year I got excited, but not like years past. I love going to Comic-Con. I'm always going to go as long as I can go. But at least personally for me, I'm glad that I got in, put it that way. I wasn't excited as years passed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But like the truth is, like the con hasn't quite picked up the momentum. Like this last year was better.
Yes.
Sure. Hall H, but like Hall H and Ballroom 20 were still closed. We still don't have as many studios.
Yeah.
New York Comic-Con was this weekend, right?
No, it's coming up in October.
Oh, it's in October. Okay.
This weekend was Baltimore Con.
Baltimore was this weekend. Yeah. But like I think there's a little bit of like not as much hype around it as it was in the past.
Yeah. We'll see how this year comes. But if there's not as much hype, it's always crowded. That's right. One thing. Yeah. It looks like we got Who-Dat. Who-Dat's a nice guy. Who-Dat, thanks for showing up. He's a Louisiana man. He's a good guy, so. I was going to say you got my name wrong, but you spelled it right the second time around. Thank you so much. All right, you ready for the next subject, Rob?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we missed this one. This is all on me last 2 weeks ago, but you and I watched House of the Dragon by HBO Max. What did you think of the series?
Okay, so I actually like this series. I know this is a hot take. I actually like this more than Game of Thrones.
Wow.
I do. And I like Game of Thrones, but I like this more. I like the characters more. I like the drama more. I think, I don't know. It's really, really interesting. And all the actors in this cast, top notch. Like they do such a good job. And I know people complained about like how the cliffhanger at the end of this second season, it was definitely a big tease. I wish they did maybe 3 more episodes, but holy cow, dude. Like I think this is the prequel that nobody really asked for, but I think it was phenomenal.
I enjoyed it. I like the things they do behind the scenes, trying to manipulate everybody, trying to get trying to get a lead up on each other. I just thought sometimes there was too much dialogue and not enough fighting.
Okay. See, and I'm like the opposite. Like I'm like I like the political drama, and because the fighting and the violence, it kind of followed a formula where at like the end of the episode you'd see stuff, right? Like not without spoiling too much, but like the scene with the baby at the very beginning of the season.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, holy cow! Like these guys are horrible.
Yeah.
Or what happened to in the big dragon fight with that one character that I will not say that kind of interfered last minute.
Yeah.
Right? Like it always was at the end. But yeah, I think that's the thing that I liked about it was like it was much more character driven than the action,
I was just at the end of the last episode. I went, all right, here we go, a big battle scene, and I was like, by that, I went, come on, guys, we're not going to see another. This show's not going to come on back for at least another 2 years or something.
Right? Yeah, that's they needed. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they needed like 3 more episodes. Because what was it? Was it an 8 or 9 episode season?
Yes, it was 8 episodes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, like they should have made it, 10 or 11.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Because like that's what people want to see, right? Is the big dragon battle. Like, and it was right there. We were right at that moment.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. It was enjoyable. So we have another comment here from Who Dat. I don't know if you saw or share of your channel. Yeah, we do share. Anybody wants to follow Who Dat? He's on Instagram and YouTube. He's got a great YouTube channel. I like it when you show off new books, and you also sell. I know you sell on YouTube, and I believe you sell on Instagram. You won't tell anybody else where you sell at Who Dat. You're a good guy. He's in from Louisiana. I know the Saints lost today. They're 2-1, but my Niners are 1-2. So I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Who Dat Comics and Movies. So he also does movies as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I need to check that channel out.
Yeah. Just to let you know, Rob, I was going to tell you this, but after today's show, we're going to start bringing in guests just to hang out with us, on a rotating basis. Maybe we'll ask Who Dat if he wants to come on with us, talk about.
How dare you?
How dare I?
Now it's fine. Okay. No, that'd be fun, man. How dare you? Thank you for the close up. How dare you? No, that actually sounds like a good time. But yeah, man. Who Dat Comics and Movies. Especially, I mean, I like comics, I like movies. So thanks for promoting another channel, man. I got to check that one out.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. So, all right, you ready for the next? Oops, I messed up on this. Let's see here. Okay, next subject is CGC.
Okay, can you explain this to me? The Banana Gate, whatever people are calling it now.
Before we go, Who Dat has another comment here. No, we have been sharing channels to ours, and we have been sharing yours. Talk to me afterwards exactly what you mean by that, because I'm not exactly sure. Do you mean like sharing it like on YouTube but this live at the same time? Like we would be on your channel going live, but we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, cool. So CGC, yeah, man, their latest development, something about like their comic books, like the casing's got like a curve to it, a curvature to it, and they're calling it Banana Gate now. If it's not one thing, it's another thing with CGC. And it's just the latest thing, with the neutron rings, with the mislabeling, but people still use them, and I still use them. It's just another, error by CGC, but they always seem to be the leader in encapsulation. So I'm not sure how much this is going to hurt them.
Well, you're right. They're the leader. They have the most slabs. People value their slabs more. And so like one way to look at it is like, like cars, like the more Honda Civics that are out there, you're going to see more issues being called to people's attention. So there's a curve to the actual cases or the inner case. Like, is it the whole slab?
From what I remember, there was a curve like in the slab. You can see like it's a curve, and they call it like a banana curve. I've seen on Instagram, everybody was talking about it. There have been other channels who have been, doing videos on it, but it's just another, stain on CGC's reputation. But
Oh
to
man.
me, I
Well,
think it's
people.
everybody's gonna forget about it, like all their other mistakes, and still use them. Unless I see otherwise.
A K-pop junkie joined. Hey,
Hey, thanks
nice,
for
dude.
joining us. Hey, K-pop, how's it going? She's got a great channel too. All these people the 3 people who are watching right now, they all have great channels. Thanks for checking us out. And who dat? I remember this. Hey, CBCS will get your book stolen, so they all have problems. He lost a book, I believe, from CBCS. They said they just lost it or stolen, and I'm not sure how that ever got resolved.
Oh
So
man,
if you let us know in
dude.
the comments who dat, if you ever got your book back or what happened with that.
Yeah, I mean, so they stole your books or just straight up lost it? That's crazy, dude.
He talked about it on his channel on YouTube, and I believe he also talked about it on Instagram. I was like, dang man, how did they let that happen? It was crazy. Everything that happened with CBCS in his book. Let me see. Thank you, K-pop. You two are my OG comic people. So I've been around for over 50 years. I know I am an original. So
Well, you know what? I mean, K-pop, like
oh
Right? Chris Fox. Remember, Well in Comics.
yeah,
I mean, good guy. Haven't talked to him in a while, but like, yeah, I remember, like, especially during COVID, right? Like, I mean, I think Comic Con and pop culture and comics in general obviously peaked out, right, with
yeah,
YouTube videos and IG live streams during that time. K-pop Duffy, like there was MF Stunt, right? Like we were all just like always running into each other on
oh
different
yes,
IG stuff.
yeah. That was
Uh,
fun. Yeah.
it's good times, dude.
She
But
said
like, but I know she's still very active though.
yeah, I see her on Instagram, on YouTube too, on a regular basis. So I always try to catch everybody who watches me. We're coming from who dat? It was mailed back anonymously from the person that stole it. Dang,
Wow.
that is crazy. Yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, hopefully that person, good karma, good juju for them for doing the right thing. That's nice.
I remember that time. I think I told you where I ordered some books from CGC, like 2 or 3 of them, and like about 15 of them came back, and they weren't even mine. And I went,
Yeah.
damn it. And I called them and I told them, hey, you guys sent me the wrong books. I wasn't going to keep them, because they weren't that expensive, or, it's not, that I want any of these books. So I sent them back. I went, what are you guys doing over there, man? It was a completely different packing slip and they weren't even my books. So
That's a lot of
yeah.
books.
Let me see. We got another comment here from K-pop Samurai Sundays. Maybe I'll use that title if we do another show, Samurai Sundays. Thanks, K-pop.
Oh,
And
that was the what Chris and the group we used to do
oh, there you
Samurai
go. That's
Sundays.
right. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
They're not using it anymore. So what the heck?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean Noah would jump on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I was like, wait a minute, Noah's buying hella books. And at one point I'm like, does your dad know you're buying these books? What's going on here, Noah?
Probably his dad was probably right next to him, helping him out, man.
Yeah, no,
Let's,
his dad's cool, dude.
let's get on to the next topic. Saturday Night Live. It's the 50th anniversary season. I am old enough to remember when Saturday Night first came out, I believe in 1974. I've been watching it off and on for the last 50 years. It's such a staple of Americana, 50 freaking years. And they're actually making a movie of the first year of Saturday Night Live. I've been seeing previews of that, little cuts of it here and there, but 50 years of TV, that's incredible.
Okay, wait. So Efren, how old were you?
59, 16.
He's
I was about
mathing.
15 years old when it first came out.
So like so now let me ask you this. So when you were younger, right, you had to watch it like late at night because on the
Exactly.
West Coast, right,
Yeah.
it came on really, really late. But
11:30.
now, so like I never really, I just don't stay up that late. But now, as an adult, like I always on Sunday, that's what we watch, and I'll usually watch it in the morning, even.
Well,
Uh,
at least here in San Diego now that it's on at 8:30. They show it live.
oh dang, I
I'm
didn't
not
know
sure they
that.
show up in Sacramento, but in San Diego for the last 3-4 years at least, it's been coming on at 8:30, the same time. 8:30 is 11:30 in the East Coast. So, but it's 50th years coming up pretty soon, and they're just right on time for the presidential election. I'm sure they're gonna have all kinds of skits and jokes about that coming up. You know, so it's been a stable for 50 years. That's crazy. You know.
Oh yeah, no, but you're right. Like this election will be a gold mine.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So
We have a comment here from K-pop about Noah. Dude, Noah's like 6 or something. Yeah, he was young, you know, when he was doing that. You know, cute little kid, you know, going on YouTube and Instagram. You know, everybody got all these followers. You know, he's probably at least 10 by now. You know.
no, I think no, he's like he's 11. He's the same age as Clara.
Oh wow, he's 11. Dang.
Yeah, because like he's been going to Comic-Con the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like 1 year, I think it was his first year with MF Stuntman.
Yes, that was about 2 years ago, 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah. So we all were kind of like hanging out, and we'd go to a couple of panels together, and it was like his birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I'm like, oh dang, like you're the same age as Clara. But yeah, he's been hitting San Diego Comic-Con. I think ever since then. I think he's gone the last 2 or 3 years. Him and his dad.
Yeah.
Like, dad's hella cool, man. He's a good guy, and he's up on what's going on. So it's not like Noah's just going rogue on the account.
Yeah. And I got a comment from K-pop. Noah's a rock star. And one more. Yeah, MF moved here last year.
Oh, all right, right on, man. So like, yeah, we still text pretty frequently. Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see Matt. We went to high school together.
Yeah.
So really good stand-up guy though. Can't say enough about him. But now he's in Michigan. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I send him. We communicate every now and then on Instagram, or I send him a message. You know, he's a good guy. Yeah, I'm glad you introduced me to him. You know, so good guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to drag him out. I mean, we're kind of talking about WrestleMania.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be in Vegas.
Oh wow, invite me.
Yeah,
I'll go with you guys.
Oh, hey, and guess what, Efren? There might be a wedding around that time.
Oh, really?
Wink, wink.
It's not mine.
Not yours, huh?
No, never doing that again. Let me see right here. He's on the other side, but it's only a 2-hour drive. Oh, wow, you guys are close.
Yeah, no, we could drag him out to WrestleMania. That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the next one here is. This was my favorite, one of my favorite shows on Disney Plus. The Bad Batch, when they first came out, you know, they had their own series, but they were also on, what was the show called? The Jedi one? I forgot. I'm drawing a blank on it. The one they had first appeared with Obi-Wan and those guys. What was that series called? The animated one. You remember, Rob, on Disney?
Oh, you mean like the Clone Wars and Rebels?
Clone Wars. Thank you. I drew a blank on that. They first showed up on the Clone Wars. Their season just ended earlier this year, I believe, but they're going to be back. First, it was an animated series that reached the heart of audiences thanks to the lovable characters. The series ended, but the team of brave heroes is coming back in an unexpected way. According to Star Wars Newsnet, Dark Horse Comics will publish a new miniseries centered around the team as part of their Hyperspace Stories banner. So I really enjoy these characters, the growth and development of these characters. And yeah, I can't wait to read this book. You know, I'm definitely going to be picking it up and reading it.
Okay, so I am behind. I saw the first season, and then I think I was teaching summer school or something. Well, you know, I fell behind the second one, but I liked it. I mean, I like all the Star Wars stuff, you know. Yeah. But it was definitely during that time in my life where there was just too much content and then too much going on, which isn't a bad problem, by the way. But I'm glad they haven't like canceled it. So it's good news that they're continuing on.
Yeah, I hate when series ends. You know, they end them. You know, they end all the storylines for the most part. But this series ended. It was a good ending. But I'm glad it's coming back in comic book form. I'm definitely going to pick up at least issue 1 and read it. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah. No, that's going to be a hot book.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Probably it's going to come out next year. I'm thinking, you know, but advance orders at least 2 or 3 months down the road. We'll see when it comes out. And Daredevil goes R-rated and gory Unleash Hell series. I think they have what are the books called? Red Band comics now, where they add more gore and more, you know, swear words. I was just reading Get Fury when the Punisher is coming after Nick Fury because he's been captured in Vietnam, and they threw a couple of swear words in there that I was like, wow, this is, you know, definitely not for kids. You know, when they put in swear words, I think they want to reach out an older audience, not just for kids. You know, it's just more gore. You know.
Right, and I think that's the big difference from what I understand between, like, because remember Marvel used to have Marvel Max,
Yes.
and then now they have this. I think the keynote difference is the violence level. Like, they're both mature content,
Yeah.
but you're gonna see like exit wounds. You're gonna see the blood and gore that you wouldn't. Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because to me it still does feel very gimmicky. I mean that's just
Yeah.
me. So are you gonna pick this one up then?
Daredevil's my favorite character, whether it's Matt Murdock or Elektra. So I'm definitely gonna pick it up. And that Get Fury book, the first issue. I mean, I go, this is not a kid's book because they show a guy's face being sliced. I was like, damn. Definitely you don't have kids read this. I think under 13 at least read these books. But then they do have the regular books for the kids too. With less gore.
Well, yeah,
The
that's
yeah,
the thing, right? It's like
yeah,
this is the gore, this is
the
the
gore.
blood and guts, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's strategically planned because it is like Halloween, right?
No, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't. I'm still kind of up in the air in it. So
Yeah. You wouldn't want to see none of your students reading this, right?
yeah, right. Like
Yeah. Let's see what the next subject is. This one, I was like, okay, I've never heard of a fictional character getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame star and the Guinness World Records title. I'm not sure I should have read more about what the world record title is, but he's getting his own Walk of Fame star in Hollywood. And I heard Jim Lee and other DC, people that work for them are going to be there. But my knowledge has always been actual, human beings who got a Walk of Fame star. I'm not sure if this is the first comic book related Walk of Fame star, but I've never heard of any other one getting one like Spider-Man or Superman, and that I recall.
so I got two things. One, I do think it's weird that it's a fictional character,
See,
even though I love Batman.
yeah, so do I.
I it kind of opens up the gate to like, well, why not Mickey Mouse?
Yes.
Why not, Bugs Bunny? And then two, I didn't learn this until recently, but my wife was like, the celebrities have to pay for that.
They do.
Yeah, and maybe I need to get fact checked, perhaps. But yeah, there's like a sponsorship element to a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame where they're for upkeep and maintenance and whatnot. It's not just simply bestowed upon them.
Hmm.
And so the celebrity or the organization, whoever's sponsoring it, has to pay for it. So I don't have my phone on me, oddly enough. But yeah, that's something maybe we need to look
Yeah, we'll
into.
talk about it next show. See what
Yeah.
you're gonna see that. But I just thought it's cool. But we'll fact check also if other characters have gotten Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. There has to have been other ones. I can see Mickey Mouse getting one. He probably has one. We just don't recall. It was probably happened such a
Right.
long time ago.
Right, especially Disney and LA and Anaheim.
Yeah,
But then like why
exactly.
not like Barney the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think it does kind of like change the tone of what it is, I think a little bit.
If anyone should get one, it would be the Simpsons. I mean, they've been around forever too. You think they would have gotten one by now?
When was the last time you've been to the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I've never been.
What?
Never been, man.
Okay, that needs to be like the
Zero.
next time you go to Universal Studios or
Yeah,
Disneyland, you should make that part of the trip.
yeah.
Because what I was gonna say is there's like the part that everybody sees on TV, in front of like the Chinese theater and all that. But it goes down blocks and eventually gets to a point where it's like nobody's gonna see these stars. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the sidewalk keeps going and it's like, where are we? We're
I,
like not in the cool section anymore.
I take it back. I think I went once. I'm starting to remember that I think I went to Stan Lee's Star once, but that's such a long time ago. I'm talking about over 10, 15 years ago easily. So I don't really recall. But if
All
I
right.
did go, it was just once and I don't remember.
Okay, so you should go 'cause it's
Yeah.
been that long. And
Yeah.
then honestly, it's free. The most you're gonna pay is for parking. Like
Yeah.
that's it in
Yeah.
downtown North LA. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see when this gets done. I'm curious to see who shows up. I mean, does Superman show up? Does Wonder Woman show up
yeah.
besides Batman? Who's going to be dressed as Batman? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get on to the next subject. So these are two shows that one has happened already. I think the first episode was just last week. The first two episodes, I haven't seen it at all. But this is Agatha All Along. She came from originally. She was on the Scarlet Witch show about 2-3 years ago. She has her own show now on Disney Plus, and I've been hearing good and bad reviews about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I am going to watch it. It looks interesting to me. Yeah, hopefully it's a good.
So Janine, my wife, really loved WandaVision.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Like, yeah, like, and she got she's not the biggest comic book fan. But we started watching this last night, and we saw the first episode. The 2 episodes are out, and the first episode, I don't think she was really into it. It's a little confusing because like Agatha is still, I don't know if you remember WandaVision, but she was like cursed and like stuck. Like that's what the Scarlet Witch did to her, was like trap her in the TV kind of lens of the world.
Okay,
and so the first episode's a little confusing because she's still stuck. But timeline wise, the Scarlet Witch is dead.
Oh wow.
Remember that, right? And so so she's still kind of stuck in the TV kind of like loop of a life, and then she breaks out of it, and then the events of this new show starts to unfold, but it takes a while for her to break out.
Okay.
So and I think that was the thing that kind of made it drag for Janine.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a lot of like sexual innuendos and tensions. Really? Yeah. Like, and so like I don't know if it's gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, it's definitely there. Like, what's going on in this scene? Wait a minute. Yeah. No, I want to keep watching it for sure.
I'm gonna watch it when I always go down my list. It's coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna watch it. Before we go on to the next subject, we have Desired Comics. Nigel, one of the good guys. I met him at Comic-Con about 3-4 years ago. Man, we just instantly bonded, and he's a good guy. He got a picture there. You see that picture? He's with, Rob? It's Stan Lee.
That's Stan Lee. Yeah, I was like, what's
we never took. So Rob and I were supposed to do a Stan Lee picture. God, it's been over 5 years easily. Obviously, at Sacramento Comic-Con, we were all set to take a picture with him, and he got sick, and we didn't get the picture taken with Stan Lee. That was a big.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I was sad because like we were all you and I were so excited about it. Yeah. We planned it like right when he said he was going to do a photo op where like we're doing it.
Yes.
And then
so awesome.
And then he got the flu.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the comments when we found out, right, why he canceled. I remember you saying this, like, dude, Stan Lee getting the flu. Like,
yeah. So
like that's not bad, yeah, like he's like he might die. Like, we don't know, man. Like, and we were just like really kind of like, dang.
They were bummed out. But Nigel, thanks for showing up. And we also have Matt 268. Hey, thanks for showing up. This is our show up on comics. We're trying to do this at least every week or every other week. We're going to do this on a regular basis, whether Rob likes it or not. I'm taking away time with his family, so, but I appreciate it, Rob.
I don't know where they are. Where?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this show from a closet one day.
You're gonna do it in your car down the street, so your family doesn't see you.
I'm out of the Safeway parking lot.
Yeah, in the dark at night. And we had another comment for Nigel. Thanks for the shout out. Sorry that didn't get a pic with Stan. Yeah, that was a bummer. I mean, I was so looking forward to it. The main reason, besides visiting Rob and his family, just taking a picture with Stan Lee, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, Efren flew up.
Yeah.
From San Diego to be like, we're making this happen.
Yeah. So the next picture up here, the reason I put it up is because James Cameron just dropped a juicy update on his new Terminator movie. You realize that James Cameron has all these Terminator movies that have been coming out year after year, so to speak. They haven't had anything to do with James Cameron. So I think this is the first 2 Terminator movies did, and this one he's gonna be involved in it. So from what I read, is going to be the same timeline, but they're going to focus on different characters. And it's just in the process of starting off too.
Have you watched the anime on Netflix?
Yes, I started watching it. Yep.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like it, and they have all new characters, which I like. Not the same old retread, so to speak. We have a
Yeah, no,
comic.
it's I'm guessing this is maybe part of that. Like the interest has been like
Yeah.
reignited with Terminator, which has always been like a great franchise, I think.
Yes.
Even the bad Terminator movies are
Yeah.
still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, but they should get away from, it's a whole new universe, so to speak, so they can choose anybody. We have a comment here from Matt. It says, Rob, do the show at A1 Comics. Hey, just anytime you want to, Rob, just go there, and just say, hey guys, I'm live. So
Yeah. Have to talk to like Levine about that.
yeah, you could do it behind their vault, open up the
And
vault and do
yeah,
it there.
in the vault, inside the vault.
Yeah, inside the vault.
Either
A1,
that or the attic upstairs. They have an attic
yeah,
area.
A1 Comics, me and Robert talking, it's in Sacramento. So that's why we're talking about A1 Comics. Shout out to A1 Comics. And the next topic, this came out. This is a comic trading pack. It came out from Whatnot. Whatnot is a selling service, and they gave it to certain sellers as a thank you. So I believe there were 3 books in it, and this was from the X-Men 97 issue variant pack. A buddy of mine, he does shows on Whatnot on a regular basis. And he told me they just basically gifted to certain sellers who have a big audience or who sell a lot on Whatnot. And he got about 4 packs and he opened them up. There's like 3 in a pack, and he put it up for bidding, and most of them sold for over $200.
Wow.
And he would open them up, and there were some special ones, like says there were 4 pack designs with 3 random X-Men 97 1 variants in each one. So it was a collaboration of Marvel artists, and I think there were foils in 1 or 2 of them. So, it says we tracked 13 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 100% with a high sale of 200.
Wow.
So yeah, they were they gifted them, from what I understand, Whatnot, to certain sellers on their, on their site. So it was
Well, I
really
remember
cool.
they did that with the was it Kirkman and the Invincible books,
Okay.
right? Didn't they send they
Oh, that's right.
right?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
they did that? So, I mean, this doesn't quite surprise me that they did it again, but X-Men right now, I mean, there's still a very hot franchise. I
yeah.
mean, still with writing X-Men 97. I mean, it's a Deadpool and Wolverine, like a cover like that, like that's gonna pull a lot of heat, a lot of attention.
Yeah, I seen when he was selling them, and I said, I just, it didn't grab my interest because I just didn't want to, spend money on books I had no idea what were inside of them, But I think, but yeah, some people enjoyed it, and some obviously people bought it, so it was good for them. And this show I started
Okay.
watching it about 2 years ago when it first came out, and season 3 is coming out pretty soon. Rob, you told me you just caught up with finishing season 1 and 2. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so what's funny is I have a little group chat with a bunch of high school friends, and one of them who is not really into horror shows, he was like, "Hey, you know, you guys who are interested in this kind of stuff, you should check this out from it's really really good." And I never did cuz I just kind of chalked it up. And then this last year at Comic-Con, when I was with you, Efren, because I stay with Efren
Yeah.
when I'm in San Diego. One must stay with Efren in San
Yeah.
Diego.
He's got free rent.
Free, yeah, and then we go get like good food, and we live our best life as single guys for that weekend, right? But anyway, Efren is like, "Hey, you want to check out this show from?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, my buddy was talking about it," and I was like, "Okay, this is good."
Yeah.
And so then I get up here, and then Amazon has the first 2 seasons posted. And so I watched it. Like it and it's good, people. If you haven't seen From, it definitely reminds you of, if you like Lost,
Yes, exactly.
you're gonna like this show. And not only is the actor, right, Michael from
Parent
yeah,
out.
yeah. hmm He's the star of the show, but it has a very like Lost similarity in terms of like they're in a place, they don't know what's going on, they're trying to figure it out, but it's like horror and scary and intriguing. it's a good show. So like I've been telling people, like, guys, don't sleep on From. It's
Yeah.
on Amazon. Watch it. The next season's coming up.
It's these people end up in a town, and if you end up in this town, you can't get out. Basically, you try to leave in the road, and you just happen to end up right back from that same road, and you just can't get out. And these are nocturnal creatures, and basically they're horrific creatures that will do anything that, basically they're eating these people. Sorry, spoiler alert, or just killing them, completely. But season 2, the last episode, was what happens to one of the characters. Like, I was like, what exactly is going on here? So it just this show is so good. I highly recommend it. I think season 3 is coming up before the end of this year.
Yeah, well, it's coming out soon, and I
Yeah.
think the timing is fantastic
For
because
Halloween.
it's Halloween, and
Yeah.
people want to see spooky things.
Yeah.
So
Highly
yeah,
recommend the show.
yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it because I feel like as soon as you start mentioning what happens in the last season, it's like, what?
These are the kind of shows that, for The Walking Dead, when it was on, it would just make me nervous. Watching this show, like all anticipation of what the heck's going to happen next in this show.
Right, and it's that whole idea of like it coming up with new questions, like as an audience member, like you're
Yes.
watching it and you're like, okay, now what's gonna happen? What about this? What about that? Like it's fun. It's
Yeah.
not annoying, because at a certain point that stuff gets annoying. But right now it's fun and it's engaging.
Yeah.
Like it sucks you in. Check
Yeah.
it out.
Good show. We highly recommend it. We have a comment here from K-pop saying hi to Desired A. And next topic, statues. Rob's getting a statue. Rob has a lot of statues, and I got into statues basically, I think, because of Rob. I always go to his house and I like the statues. So I had I started buying statues, but I stopped for about 5 or 6 years. I haven't bought a new one, but I did put one on order. I'm gonna show you mine next. But Rob, go take it away. It's all yours.
All right, so I got this one. It's a sideshow, and I told myself I'm gonna stop. I gotta slow down, and if you collect statues, it grows. It goes from like, I'm gonna collect the smaller ones, and then you get the 1/4, and then there's 1/3 and bigger scales, and it takes up a lot of real estate. And so you want to collect everything. And so I told myself I'm only gonna collect like the core X-Men because I love X-Men
Yeah.
and Spider-Man. And now I'm at the point where I need to sell the other ones. So if you are looking for a statue, like I will be posting some of those other ones up, but I'm just keeping it to the core X-Men. And Magneto and Apocalypse, they're my 2 favorite X-Men villains. I have an Apocalypse statue, which I love,
Yeah.
but this statue, I'm like, oh man, I need to get it. I have a Magneto statue, a custom one, by the way. But I like this one even more. And so I will be selling my other one just so I can make room for this one. This one is by Daniel Bell. He sculpts a lot of different statues for Sideshow, and then you can find some of his customs. But this pose is actually, and see, this is how deep I'm in the statue game. Back in the day, Kotobukiya had a statue, a 1/6 scale version of essentially this same pose. And so when I saw this, I was like, I gotta have it. I actually used to have the Kotobukiya. It was a smaller statue, and I sold it. I flipped it to make space for another statue back in the day. And I had a nice return on it, to be honest. And this edition size for this statue, I want to say it's like 350.
Wow.
But yeah, I was like, I even showed my wife. I'm like, I gotta get it. And she's like, what are you gonna do with the other one? I'm like, I guess I gotta sell it. Even if I sell it at a loss, I would
Yeah.
I like the statue that much. I mean, I love Magneto. I love the core X-Men. And by the way, when I say I'm collecting statues, I'm trying to stay tight to core X-Men. All right. So I got I have a Cyclops, I have a Jean Grey. I had a Beast, but I want to upgrade it to a different Beast. Angel. Like I just want the core group of X-Men, and then villains wise, Apocalypse, Magneto. That's gonna be it. I mean, actually, I do have a Colossus, which I don't want to let go, but I still have. But yeah, because that's the thing with collecting statues. I mean, you know this effort, and like it takes up a lot of real estate in your
Yes.
house. And so like I have some cabinets. My wife has been see the store. All right, there's a who dat comments made a comment.
He's asking if I can bring it up here.
Okay,
Yeah, Storm for sale
so this oh man, XM Studios has a storm.
or
It's
Gambit.
it is awesome. And then Sideshow's Gambit is great. But see what I mean? Like, because especially with X-Men, there's so many X-Men and they're awesome. Like, I love Rogue. I would love a Rogue statue, but I'm like, I need a Iceman. That's what I want. Iceman, Beast, Jean Grey, which I have, Cyclops, right? I just want the core group because like X-Men goes so deep, and I still have I have a Colossus right now, and I'm like I have a hard time letting that guy go because he's pretty slick.
So you do or you don't have a Storm or Gambit for sale?
I do not have Storm or Gambit, and if I had a Storm or Gambit, I would be in the doghouse right now. Then I'm like I'm out of. I had a Nightcrawler. I had an OG Angel. I have an Archangel.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Remember the Angel was nice, but I just personally I do like Archangel. But anyway, so this Magneto, yeah, I mean it's gonna come out. I'll let you guys. Well, I mean, obviously we'll follow up with when I do get it, but it won't be for a while. It won't be till next year, I think.
Before I show mine, who dat has a comment here. Matt 268 Key, and they're just saying hi to each other. I was like showing the comments from people talk to each other. And thank you so much for showing up to our channel. And let me see what else we have here. Passpoint Comics already changed the subject. You must have read my mind, but this subject is coming up. This is going to be one of my slides, and I'm going to talk about the new Haunted Mansion. And they have not opened Tiana's Bayou yet. They haven't opened it up. But I am going to be talking about the Haunted Mansion, my thoughts of my daughter and I went last Friday to Disneyland, and that's a subject that's coming up. So hang on, it's coming.
Last Friday, yep,
yeah,
man.
last Friday, just
fresh,
2 days ago,
fresh off the presses.
Yep. Let me see. So I have not bought a statue for at least 5 years, at least, because they were. I mean, I love them. This is a Sideshow statue, but one is the price. I mean, you spend at least 300 starting off on up, 600, 700. I've bought statues, and it's just the boxes that they come into, because I don't want to get rid of the boxes, because if I ever sell my statues, I have to put them in the box, and you can't break them down because there's styrofoam inside the box. So, they take up a lot of space. But when I found out that this Dazzler was coming out, I said, I'm getting this one. So it's in order at Sideshow. It's supposed to come out by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So this is the statue that I have bought recently, and it just hasn't come in. But I just love this character when it first came out. So I said, I'm getting this one. So.
Oh man, this is such a great statue. But this and this is why I got to check myself, because like you go through that X-Men catalog and you see stuff like this, and the detail to this one. I mean, I think I shared to you like, hey guys, look at this statue to you.
And that's why I found it. Yeah.
You and Richard.
Yeah. So I said, I got to get this one, and I have the original comic book too. So I am buying this. It's on order.
Now I know you have this book slab.
Yeah, I do.
I remember you bought it and you were like, I can't believe I want it, because like you got a good deal on it.
Yep.
Years ago. But look at that, the disco ball, the light effects. This will look very nice next to your slab, dude.
I'm so old. Disco was my era. I used to go out and party all the time. So that's all I'm saying. So I had to get this statue. Yeah. All right. Let's see what next. Here we go, Matt. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I have the SoCal pass for Disneyland. So me and my daughter, we go, as often as we can. The SoCal pass is just for Southern California. And it's like from January to, I think, April or something like that. Then all through the summer, it's blocked off. And we just went last Friday, and they had just opened up the Haunted Mansion because it was closed down for the whole summer. And we went, And the way you could get in for this, you remember when Star Wars first was around for Disneyland, where you just have to, I don't know if you remember, Rob, but you have to log in a certain time and then they
Yep.
choose you. That's how it is for the Haunted Mansion. Okay. We got in about 4 o'clock in the evening. And okay, I hate to say this, but even my daughter said this too. What improvements did they make to this ride? I didn't see anything different. Nothing. I mean, it was Halloween themed. From that movie Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington, those characters were in the Haunted Mansion, but to me, everything was exactly the same. I thought it was going to be a huge upgrade because they closed it down for the whole summer. But my daughter says, "Did they make any changes to this?" I go, "Not that I know of." So I'm not exactly sure what they did. I loved it, but I was just a little bit disappointed because I was expecting some major upgrade to the ride. But to me, it just wasn't there.
I wonder if it was just like maintenance.
That's what
Like,
I'm thinking. It
you
was just
know,
maintenance. They've upgraded with a bunch of characters from that movie. But to me, it was basically the same ride. I was expecting more. So I was disappointed a little bit.
well, they always do it for Halloween. They always do a layover of
Yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. I haven't been during Halloween time in a very long time. I do plan on going next month.
Yeah.
So that might be something for, us to check out and compare notes. But that's a
Yeah.
bummer. Yeah, you would think
Yeah.
something notably different would be there.
That
Was
being
it was it packed?
It was packed. I mean, it was, they just at 7 o'clock in the morning, they would open up the virtual queue and you just click on it. And if you got in, they would let you know. Then at 12 o'clock, they opened it up again and they told you what number you're in. And then you would just check the app and they would say, okay, you're coming up. We got in there really quick. This is the first time that, this was Halloween. That's another reason we went to, because we want to see all the decorations. We did not get the fast track, where you get to get in quicker. And the most we waited for a ride was less than 30 minutes for the whole day.
That's great.
That was great. I mean, I loved everything about Disneyland. Don't get me wrong. I was just a little bit disappointed about the Haunted Mansion because it just did. I was expecting something extravagant because they closed it down for over 3 to 4 months. It just seemed the same to me. And I thought they were going to open up a store. You know how you walk out of some of the rides and there's a store right there next to the ride when it ends. I thought they were doing that, but I didn't see anything different. So I'm not exactly sure what they did. I think it was just maintenance, just making sure everything was running correctly. But that's my opinion on the ride. Anybody else that goes, if you want to leave a comment afterwards, see what you thought of it. But I just give it a C. I didn't see any big changes to it. I was bummed out that they had the Jungle Cruise was closed. I couldn't go on that, and the Jungle Cruise was closed. But we went on Indiana Jones, less than 30 minutes. I'm a big fan of
That's great.
President Lincoln. He was closed. They had some rides closed.
Oh.
So. But
Oh man. All right. Okay. No, that's good info.
yeah, I put videos out on my YouTube channel of the fireworks show, which was fantastic. And I think I did a couple of rides too that I put on Instagram and on YouTube. Overall, it was a great day. But it was just I was just a little bit disappointed about the Haunted Mansion. But I spent a lot of money there. So
and he bought me nothing.
And I bought him. What else? Let's see, next slide here. So this is, we talk about entertainment, and I'm just a big sports fan overall. I follow basketball, baseball, football, and I'm a big fan of Mike Tirico. He's everywhere on NBC. He does the Olympics. He does nationally. He does football now. He's like the main guy at NBC, and NBC is getting basketball now. So he's going to be like the lead, person on there too. So he's everywhere on NBC Sports.
Is it weird for me to say like I like his voice?
Yeah, great voice. Yeah, very very soothing voice. Even Keo.
Yeah,
I love him during the Olympics. So props to him. He came from ESPN, and when he was on NBC, Al Michaels was still on NBC, and he was doing football. But he's everywhere now on NBC Sports, man. He's like the main guy to go to on NBC Sports. So, props to him.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good
So
news.
yeah, so they're getting the NBA. I'm kind of disappointed that TNT is losing the NBA, but I think they are suing the NBA because they matched NBC's and Amazon's pricing, but bid. But NBA says no, we're not going to go with you guys anymore. Because I liked hearing Shaq and the rest of those guys. Charles Barkley, their TNT show is hilarious. But I think
Yeah.
this year is the last year they're going to be doing it, unfortunately. And what next? What did we buy this time?
I've been good. I haven't bought anything.
I've bought a couple of things.
Except that statue.
Except our statue. That's all we've bought. So this is the last segment of the show where we talk about if we have bought anything. And I have bought a few things. Let me get rid of this slide here and see if I can. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So this book, it's by Rodney King, who myself and Triple G, we recently interviewed. He came out with another book. This is from his company called Zombie Love Studios. It's Florence. The title is called Florence and Normandy. Basically, it's modern day time where a cop and this other person, the cop is going after this person, but then there's an invasion of aliens, and they showed, at the beginning of the book, they show their differences because one's a cop, the other one, person who, he's educated, but he's having rough luck in his life. But they show how they get together. They put away all their differences to save humankind, so to speak. So, like I said, it's by Rodney King and by the rapper Exhibit. This book came out about a month ago, and it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. It's just one book. That's all you got to read, and I liked it a lot. So good storyline.
Is it like a graphic novel or is it like
graphic novel?
Size? Okay.
Yeah, it's this year. Down on his luck, Malik, an intelligent young black man with an engineering degree, delivers fast food just to make ends meet. His girlfriend left him. His grandmother thinks he's a disappointment, and his hopes and ambitions are slipping away. He doesn't think his life could get any worse until an APB on a suspected criminal that matches Malik's description puts him at odds with Officer Brown, a cop with a chip on his shoulder who is known to escalate tense situations. It just shows no matter what, when the chips are down, humankind, they helped each other out and they turned the tide on these aliens. And if it wasn't for them, the Earth would have been doomed. So it's a good storyline. I highly recommend it. And these are a couple of more books that I got recently. And let me put them in order here. This one I got at San Diego Comic-Con. I forgot to show last time. It's an ash can. It's the Universal Monsters. It's Frankenstein issue #1.
I remember that book. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got this cover, and I just love this cover. They have Frankenstein, Dracula, and looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. And I picked this book up a couple of weeks ago. It's Venom War Wolverine. I just like this cover. It just shows Wolverine. He's getting venomized, so to speak. And I picked Marvel recently has been coming out with books that have pictures of movies, recent Marvel movies, and this one shows the Avengers on it. See it here?
Oh, that's a nice one. I like that.
Yeah, I think the back of it has I think it's a fold around or wrap around. Let me see here. Yep. So here's the front, and here's the back cover. That was pretty cool. Now, I don't buy as many comic books as I used to. I really slowed down buying my comic books, and I'm really getting picky on which books I'm going to purchase. But ever since San Diego Comic-Con, and I've told Rob this, I've been getting back on the J. Scott Campbell bandwagon. So he came out with this book a couple of weeks ago, and I got it. It's excellent with Roll on the cover.
Yeah, is there there's a version one of that, isn't there?
2. Yes, a version cover of it, yes. So these last books, they're not mine, but I press and clean comic books. I always tell everybody I'm not a professional cleaner. Some buddies, they ask me every now and then, hey, do you want to clean our book for me? I said, I will clean your book. I just want you to know that, it's a hobby of mine. I just clean books. I'm not a professional, and if you want to leave it with me, basically I'm trying to absolve myself from taking any responsibility if anything ever happens to the book. I go, just let you know, I just do this. And, I just, for some reason, I enjoy cleaning and pressing books. So he gave me. I never knew there was a Treehouse of Horror books from the Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's been going on since 1990s up to the present time. He bought all the books, so there's about 26 of them so far. And he asked me, "Hey, do you mind cleaning and pressing them for me?" So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll clean and press them for you." These are really nice books, so I figured I'd show 3 of them. And these are not mine, but I thought they were cool. And this one is issue number 12. You can see it throughout the glare. And
I like the style of it. It's like the tail, the old pre-horror kind of.
Yes, exactly. And this one is like from Ghostbusters homage. You see how Homer Simpson is the Stay Puft.
Yep.
And the last one, and actually there's 26 of them or something like that. And I cleaned and pressed them all, and I'll give them back to him. He wants to take them to New York Comic Con and get them signed. They were already in pretty good condition, but I just, cleaned and pressed them. They didn't have much cleaning to do, but the pressing made them nice and flat. And this one is the taken directly from the TV show where they show Bart Simpson skateboarding, but he's a zombie on this one. I can get there without the glare. Right there. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So they're cool books, but when I press other people's books, I get really nervous sometimes. Like, oh man, I don't want to mess up these books. They're not mine. And I just do them. I don't charge anybody for them when they're friends. I've helped out Rob. I show him what to do, and he comes to my house and he started pressing some books. I'm not saying pressing isn't not hard to do, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that hard to do, should I say? Once you get the hang of pressing and cleaning a book.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, those look like some pretty sweet books. The Simpsons, that's been one book that I've floated in my mind. Like, if I can find a 9.8, but graded, they run about like between $300 and $400.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like for their first appearance. But the thing is, like, a lot you can find it raw, like so much cheaper, but they're just all banged up because they were polybag books.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like there's such a iconic franchise like in America television that in my mind I'm like that might be an investable book that might be worth getting at $300 or $400.
Yeah, he mentioned that people really like these books and they're really sought after. And he's going to go to New York Comic Con. He's going to get them signed by some of the creators there. And he said, yeah, these books sell really well. So, and I just cleaned and pressed it for him. So. Mm-hmm. But that is the last slide. So we're done, Rob. You want to say anything else that's coming up, or we just wait until next week?
No, man. I mean, I'm good. I haven't had as an eventful week. We've been doing a lot of house projects here, and we probably still will. We do plan on going to Disneyland next month. So in a few weeks, we'll be checking out maybe that Haunted Mansion, and we can compare notes.
Love to hear your opinion. Yes.
Yeah. And then I know, hey, just to float it by your ears, we're going to be in San Diego in November. We're planning on going to the zoo. So if you haven't been to the zoo,
not for a long time, but yeah, let me know. See if I'm around.
Yeah, so. They got pandas.
I know. Yeah, everybody wants to go see the pandas at the zoo now. Man, it was crowded at the beginning when they first came back. It was the first time they've been back in about 10 years. They used to have them about over 10 years ago, I think they were here. They just brought them back recently from China.
No, that's it, man. No, good show though. Thank you for doing this.
Everybody who showed up, we really appreciate it. Let me see if there's any more comments here before we say goodbye. You have a good night. Also, go Saints. I hope they win next week. I hope the Niners win next week. Dang it, football. And Matt, have a great week. You too, Matt. Hopefully we will be back next week, or if not the following week. We got to decide if we're going to do this on Saturdays or Sundays, So we will be back, and we're going to try to bring some guests to come on.
Yeah, bring some guests.
Yeah, bring some guests.
Maybe Matt.
Maybe Matt. Anybody wants to reach out to me to come on our channel. I'm on Instagram at Passpoint Comics. If you want to come on with us, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you a link. Right? Until next time, let me get the outro out of here. See you guys. Be safe. Go buy a comic book and read it.